Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Picture this, our friend, a retail investor, swinging joyfully through the wild jungle of the financial markets. Right now, oh, he's feeling like a total big brain genius just because his speculative banana stocks are flashing green. The market is up, life is good, and honestly, the future looks insanely bright. But, well, as any seasoned trader knows, the jungle can be an incredibly unpredictable and unforgiving place. And a screen full of unrealized gains? Yeah, that does absolutely nothing to pay the rent when reality suddenly comes knocking at your door. Then, boom, disaster strikes out of nowhere. A loud snap echoes through the trees, resulting in what meme culture playfully calls a leg ouchie. But let's bring that into the real world for a second. That sudden injury, it represents an unexpected, catastrophic life event. We're talking a sudden job loss, a massive medical emergency, or maybe a blown transmission on the car you literally need to get to work. Or hey, maybe a massive macroeconomic storm hits and causes severe industry layoffs. Suddenly, life goes from a comfortable bull run to a devastating cash crunch in a matter of seconds, leaving our investor entirely sidelined. So, facing this immediate high-stakes crisis, we really have to ask ourselves a serious question. Does our primate friend actually have a stash of liquid cash hidden safely away for this exact rainy day? Because if he's lacking preparation, he might be facing a terrifying death pledge, which, fun fact, is literally the old French translation of the word mortgage. Without a safety net, an unexpected crisis forces you into some really terrible financial decisions. You end up taking out high-interest predatory loans, racking up massive credit card debt, or, worst of all, liquidating your retirement accounts decades early, triggering severe tax penalties just to keep the lights on.
So let's move right into Section 1, Understanding Liquid Leaves and How to Survive the Big Sad.
The absolute foundation of surviving any financial crisis comes down to one smart monkey word: liquidity. In finance, liquidity simply means how fast you can turn your assets into usable cash without losing their value. And this core definition explains exactly why you simply cannot keep your emergency fund tied up in non-liquid assets. Look, it's super common for people to chase high yields, right? Locking all their extra cash into long-term bonds, real estate, or complex equities. And sure, while those are powerful wealth-building assets, they have dangerously low liquidity. If your money is locked away where you can't access it within 24 hours, it's practically useless to you during a sudden, short-term emergency. Think about it like this. Pouring water from a pitcher is fast, effortless, and instantaneous. But pushing a heavy boulder up a hill, that takes a massive amount of time, friction, and energy. In the real world, if you need $2,000 to fix your car today so you can commute to your job tomorrow, you absolutely cannot wait 45 days to close on a real estate sale just to access that cash. When the pressure is on and the bills are due right now, you need immediate, frictionless access to your capital. No boulders allowed. Which brings us to Section 2, Dodging the Debt Trap. Beware the monkey bank. Okay, so what exactly happens if you don't have that highly liquid cash ready to deploy when disaster strikes? Well, you reach for the plastic. You're forced to borrow from the bank using a leaf card. But here's the catch. If you can't pay that balance off completely within 30 days, you get hit with astronomical interest rates. We're talking an average of 20 to 25% in today's market. It's essentially a punishing cost for being caught off guard. And even worse, if you stay in debt, you get caught in the relentless trap of compound interest working in reverse. The bank starts charging you extra interest on your interest every single day, completely turning a minor, temporary emergency into a deeply entrenched financial hole that can take literally years to climb out of. Let's get into the solution with Section 3, Sizing Your Leaf Umbrella. Exactly how many leaves do you actually need? To completely avoid that devastating debt spiral, financial experts universally agree on a specific baseline target. You should have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up in cash. But wait, why is there such a huge variance between 3 and 6? Well, it all comes down to your personal risk profile. You might only need a 3-month safety net if you're single, young, and have a highly in-demand skill set where you could easily replace a lost job in a few weeks. However, you really need to push that target to 6 months or honestly, even a full year if you have a family relying on you, if you work a volatile freelance gig with unpredictable income, or if you're in a highly specialized field where the hiring process routinely takes months. Now, when we're calculating these expenses, we are talking about your absolute bare bones survival necessities. We mean your rent or mortgage, your essential utilities, basic groceries, and required insurances. Listen, this is not the time to factor in your luxury Vine subscriptions, meaning your multiple premium streaming services, expensive gym memberships, or dining out budgets. Your emergency fund must be precisely calculated to cover your core survival baseline for that full 3 to 6 month period, keeping a roof over your head without inflating the target number unnecessarily. Building this safety net requires a deliberate, actionable plan. First, you've got to meticulously track your expenses for a month so you know exactly where your capital is bleeding out. Second, set up a strict, zero-based budget. And third, and I cannot stress this enough, this is absolutely critical, you must pay yourself first through automation. Seriously, don't rely on willpower. Set up an automatic transfer every single payday that routes a percentage of your income directly into a high-yield savings account before you even have a chance to look at it. You just have to secure this liquid foundation entirely before you even begin to allocate a single dollar towards speculative investments or the stock market. All right, moving on to Section 4, avoiding the ape trap. Let's talk about the danger of volatility. During a roaring bull market, the psychology of investing dramatically shifts. Everything looks incredible and your portfolio's value is soaring. This is where FOMO, the fear of missing out, takes complete control. You see other traders online doubling their net worth overnight, and man, the temptation becomes almost overwhelming to bypass your boring, low-yield emergency savings and just dump your rent money directly into high-risk, high-reward meme stocks or crypto. When times are good, you feel completely invincible, assuming your investments will just always be there for you to cash out if you ever need them. But the harsh reality of risk assets is that market sentiment can turn completely upside down overnight. I mean, literally, because of a single unpredictable tweet from a major tech CEO, a sudden shift in global monetary policy, or a massive financial bubble violently popping. Those exact same assets that made you feel so wealthy, they're suddenly worth a fraction of what you paid. Your liquidity can evaporate in an absolute instant, and entire portfolios can be effectively wiped out by external macroeconomic factors that are completely outside of your control. And this brings us to one of the absolute most destructive financial concepts a retail investor can face: forced liquidation. If your crucial emergency cash is locked up in volatile equities during a vicious bear market, and a real-life crisis hits you at that exact moment, you have completely lost your leverage. You'll be forced to sell your investments at the absolute worst possible time. By liquidating assets out of sheer desperation just to pay a medical bill or cover rent, you instantly transform a temporary, unrealized dip in your portfolio into a permanent, massive capital loss. You're basically locking in the devastation. So here's the bottom line. Before you start blindly investing for a retirement that is 40 years away, you absolutely must protect yourself today. You have to insulate yourself from these sudden, unpredictable storms of the present before you even begin to allocate capital toward a distant future. A fully funded emergency safety net isn't just a pile of idle cash. It's literally financial armor. Your present safety is the required foundation that enables and completely protects your future wealth generation. Now, before you swing away to check your own asset allocation and liquidity, please remember that the information in this explainer is strictly educational and not personalized financial advice. So please do not sue Monkey. If you found this structure breakdown helpful, be sure to subscribe to the troops so you never miss out on mastering the mechanics of the market. Oh, and you can also join the Patreon to support ape conservation and get some pretty awesome custom primate artwork. So I'll leave you with this. Are you truly ready to build your safety net today? Or are you just one unexpected emergency away from losing it all? Take a really hard look at your liquidity right now and take action to protect your downside. Because in the financial markets, just as in the jungle, apes together strong.